And board editor. Let's go with the black pieces this time. Clear board. King, bishop, knight. Throw the white king anywhere up there. Black to play. Continue from here. Play with the computer. So I'm just going to play it without explaining first, and then I'll go through what I did afterwards to avoid some possible pitfalls. Where's my tools? Where's my flipboard option? Don't know. It's fine. Okay, so king gets up to the center. That's what you're always going to do. Either of the methods. I learned 2 methods. So he's going toward the wrong corner. Okay. Let it be. Maybe he'll sneak over this way and help me out. No? Okay. It's very strange. Computer's play is very strange. Okay, that's the first. This is the first method gotten into in a different way than the computer is supposed to play optimally, but for some reason, since I'm trying to make this video, computer has been playing non-optimally, which is going toward the corner where you can get checkmated in. So when I first get the king up here, and the computer has always done this, I've played this many times. Once I get into this position, bishop is normally here. Sorry, here. But once I get into this position, he starts going that way because you can't checkmate him on the light squared corner. But he's been going lately to try to thwart me. He's been going this way. And it's fine. As you can see, I just positioned my pieces. I got him, he stayed here pretty much. And I got my bishop and knight to the optimal spaces, which is, it is here. And the knight, the optimal position is here. 2 squares to the side, not diagonally, of the bishop. And you just force him into smaller and smaller triangles. Make waiting moves only with the bishop, not the knight. And you don't really want the king staying on the square of the bishop, the color of the bishop. Once you have the king around here, he's already in the tiniest triangle, but we haven't even put him in the medium one yet. But once you get him in this one, then this knight does this to seal the triangle. And if he comes up here, then this bishop just comes over. Bishop is always trying to come to this square or this square. And if this big triangle here, bishop stays on this square for the most part. And as soon as the king moves away from this exact square of the triangle, then you can make this first part of the W. The knight just does this, doesn't make any other moves. So as soon as the king moves away from this exact square, we can make this move. And then if he tries to go back to escape, then we come back, advance the knight, and also protect the one escape square. So he has to go back. And at this point, you just bring the king up and around and back to the side that's the other side of the triangle of your bishop. So the bishop's taking care of this triangle, this side of the triangle, and the king is just going to come up and down. As you can see how I did. And the moment that he gets inside of this triangle, if he goes here, you obviously can't do this, but if he goes here, we just come down this way or this way. But the moment he gets in here, we can bring this and seal the smallest one. And then if he comes down, bishop comes back up, and then if he goes back up, then the king guards the bishop that is now here with either of those two moves. And if he comes here, we just do a waiting move, then he comes back, one of these two, and then we come down. He didn't do that, he just went straight to the side, so I could come down. And at this point, the king, this is where you want your king to be. He can only go back and forth here forever. And then it's just a matter of bringing the knight here, and whichever move it is, whichever tempo he's on, you'll either check first with the bishop and then mate, or you'll check first with the knight and then bishop mate. So the knight comes here, king goes to the only square that you can, so you can see whichever you can give check with first, that's what you give check with. In this case it's the knight. If the king was here, it would be bishop here, king here, and then knight mate. But in this case, it's knight first and checkmate in 41 moves. So I'm going to attempt to show the other method. In fact, I'll just set Well, let's try it. Let's try it. Let's see if he'll cooperate. He might cooperate. I want to get the king here. He's already not cooperating. He's going this way. There you go. That's a good way to do it. There you go. That's how we like it. Knight wants to get here. He's in the most awkward square to get there, so it takes like 5 moves or something. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 moves. 2, 3, and 4. So you can see the king is in the center 4 squares, the opposite color of our bishop, and on the square that's closest to the king, and the bishop and the knight are arranged diagonally, flanking him. And after you get the king over here, you want to basically get your king to c3 as black. Or if it's all happening in this corner, then your king is here, and then you want to get your king to this square. Or this square, or this square. It's one of these 4, depending. Okay, so I'm going to maneuver till he can get to this square. Now he can't go here. He can go here. In which case I will come this way. He could go here and squirt out this way. Hopefully he won't do that. Maybe he's gonna do that. Such a bad guy. Now, I'm gonna see if I can get to the position that I want. Maybe I can shoot him out that way. Maybe he doesn't want to go this way now. Oh, nice. Okay. The only problem is... Okay, let's try and reset. Go that way. Okay, he's going the right way this time. He's gonna go this way. So he's actually playing correct now. If he were to run this way, he'd be doing the same thing, which is running into the corner where he gets mated, which is dumb. But I don't have every single variation of these mates in my head. I do want to teach the ones that I know. So after this happens, the knight wants to get to this square that the bishop is pointing at. Kind of the same square as we wanted the bishop hanging out on with the large to small triangles. We want this knight to come to this square. It's whichever square that the bishop is pointing at. So you'd say this one, no, bishop's not pointing at it, it's this square. And then it's just a matter of don't stalemate. There are some stalemate possibilities. So we'll go this way. And if he goes here, then you come here, and he can't go that way or that way. So then you bring the knight to that square we were just talking about. In this case, the king can only go this way. And then we want the king to be here to start this next version of the bishop-knight mate. So I'm going to bring the bishop up here. And he has to go here. The way the book showed, it started off with this exact position, but the bishop was here. Doesn't really matter. This bishop can be in a lot of different places. But to start the forcing series, the bishop comes here, and the king has to go this way. So to start it, remember that it's bishop here, king here, and then knight. The knight is still performing the W move, so the knight is only doing this till mate happens. There are a few sequences to remember. They're usually only 2 move sequences, but in this particular case, it's bishop here, king here, knight here. So you're not moving the king first after the king goes here. Come on, internet, you can do it. And then knight here. He can go this way. It's not going to help him. If he goes this way, then it's just check. King here, king here. And then the king only has this one to go to, and then king here. And then if he goes back, then it's bishop check, and the king has to go back here again. So in this case, after king over, our king comes over. And he's going to be able to escape, or it looks like he's going to be able to escape. He's not actually. This bishop just comes and stops that. But first the knight has to make the second move. So the knight starts here, and then it does the W. It's actually an M in this case, but after the king tries to escape, the knight comes here. And then whichever way he moves, he can go here, he can go here, he can go here. He could even do this or this, but those are gonna lose faster, so he's gonna try to escape. Usually he goes this way, but whichever way he goes, just bring the bishop to block whatever dark square he might escape to. So in this case, it's this one, so bring the bishop to block that. Okay, and if he does this move, then you just remember, keep the bishop on the same diagonal, just move it back one. And if he had gone here, in this case, king over would be the correct move. This move here is what prolongs the mate longer, so he's actually playing the best way here. And once the king comes back, then this bishop just comes back and seals off this diagonal, and this knight is sealing off the escape square, so he has to go back one of these two. Okay. So we don't want to move this bishop here yet, because then he can again come out this way, so we move the king one more over. And he only has one option, and that's this. Okay, and then essentially here, we don't want to come here yet because he can come out this way, so we want him to voluntarily go here, and then we can bring the bishop to say check, and then he goes back. That's how we want to start once we've arrived to this position. So we'll do kind of a waiting move here, and this is actually the only waiting move we can do, because if we come here, then and he goes here, we'll lose the bishop. And if we go something like, we could go here probably. Either here or here. So let's try this one. And he goes here. And then at this point, remember this particular pattern. Once this happens, then you go check. And this knight is covering the escape square here, and the bishop is now covering this escape square, so he has to go back. And just remember, once this second sequence has happened, always bring the bishop in. And then he has to go this way. And then it's after that exact set of moves has happened, that's when the knight does this second leg of the M. So we did this first leg, and then it starts the second one. So bishop here, king has to go here, and then the knight begins the second leg. He can go this way, but that's faster mate. So he's playing optimally, he's going this way, and at this point, you complete the M. Right? Bishop is stopping him from going this way, he has to go this way. Then the king comes over, king has to go this way, king comes over again, and then if he goes this way, we'll do the same thing, which is check. It's similar to the position that we had over here. So king comes over, he goes this way, check. He has to go back. And at this point, this knight can go to many different places to deliver mate. Which one is it? There's one that gives two options. I think knight here is the more flexible one, because then it can deliver mate here or here. So let's try that one. King has to go here. And at this point, you don't want to give checks yet, because then he's going to come this way and be able to sneak out. For instance, if you go check and he goes here, and then you try to give mate, he can sneak out this way. So first you want to get this bishop. It's kind of the sealing the small triangle thing. It's actually the same concept. And he's going to come here. And we can't do any checks with the knight yet because bishop will hang. So the bishop comes back, all the way back. He comes here. And then now we can give the check, and this is the case where you can see the flexibility of the knight, where he can deliver mate here or here. So we'll do this one. 42 moves, so it's about the same as the other one. So if you learn both mates, if you learn the Delatang triangle as well as this one, and he does the thing where he doesn't cooperate correctly and sneaks out this way, you don't want to just do this. You don't want to just do this. You can wait around a little bit like this until he gets to the light squared side. Get the king to this exact square, and then perform this maneuver. Then he has to go here. Bishop out. Bishop here. And then king over. Knight back. King over. King here. And so on. And once he tries to escape, you go here. And if he tries to stay here, then I believe the king just comes here. I haven't studied that one, but if he tries to escape, then the knight comes here. And then the bishop blocks the edge. There are just a few patterns to remember. So I'll do one more just with white. So let's go to board editor. Let's go to board editor, clear board. So with white this time. Let's stick him right on the corner that he wants to stay on. Maybe he'll remember that he's supposed to be there. Continue from here, play the computer. Play as white. And whether the bishop is here and the knight is here, or it's flipped and the knight's here and the bishop's here, doesn't make that much of a difference. It just means the king will be forced in one way or the other way. You just start the same way with both mates. And it's just good to know both to be flexible. That's what I would recommend. And just practice them a whole bunch. See, he's going this way, so he's making me do the triangle method, which is fine. It's good to know both. Make waiting moves with the bishop. And then force the king over. If this position happens, bring the bishop up, and then king this way. As you can see, this configuration is very solid. King can't escape at all, just with the pieces here. Let's go back. If he goes here, we can come this way. Knight's covering here, bishop's covering here. Okay, he is in this triangle now. You don't want to do this, you don't want to seal this triangle too early. You want the king to be in here or here. So we don't want to go quite in yet, so we'll go here first. Get the king closer and more in the center before you seal this triangle. Can't go this way because this square is covered, so we'll go bishop up. If he ever gets to here, bring the bishop back to the ideal square, seal this off. Okay. Now I can come here. Seal this second triangle. And then begin the first W, first leg of the W. And then just bring the king around to the other side of the bishop and force it up. There are some exceptions, and there are some things to look out for, but for the most part, this will yield results. So then seal the tiny triangle. .44 moves. I'll set up this other one more time just to get it in your head. So board editor, clear board, white here, knight here, bishop here, knight here, black king here, and it's black to play. Continue from here. I will play white. So again, we start with this move. His only move is here, bring the knight back first. bring the king over 1. He tries to escape, bring the knight back up, and we're doing the first leg of the W. King tries to escape. Seal off the dark square he's trying to escape to. And if he comes closer, just bring the bishop back 1. If he comes back again, this king comes over and he gets sealed really quickly. He gets mated really fast. So this is the best move. Once that happens, bring the bishop back here and seal off this. Okay, bring the king over. Whichever move, bring the king over. He goes this way. He has to go that way. Make a waiting move, either here or here. I think we went here last time, so let's go here this time. He comes here, give a check. Comes over, bring the bishop in. And when he goes this way, bring the knight back. So we've made this one so far, knight back. If he goes this way, just bring the king in. And if he goes back, then that's when this particular check works. And this particular check only works if this king is here and this bishop is here. He has to go this way. King over. He has to go this way. King over. Comes out here, then check. Okay. And the last time, where did I go? Here? Last time I went here, because you can deliver check this way, or this way. This also works, and I think this also works. I think this is the only one that doesn't work. So let's try this one. Check and mate. Okay. I think that's enough. It's enough instructive bishop knight. Any interest in playing anti-chess? Do you know anti-chess well to try to explain it to me? Because I haven't really played it. I think I've tried giveaway. Let me turn off the video recorder. Quit QuickTime player. Bishop and knight versus king mate.